Welcome back, everyone, to the complete Pineleaf. I have arrived here at Island Varen, where I'm to speak with the captain here to find out what's going on.
The Earth has reclaimed the deeds of men and orc, fair or foul.
Hail, Pineleaf! Your name precedes you among the captains of the Rangers, my friend. When I saw you approach, I knew you could be no other, because they must have included my height in their descriptions. Yes, I am Meridol, and you have come to a peculiar time for me and my company. You see, we ambushed a party of Southrons traveling north through Ithilien, but rather than attacking, they threw down their weapons and knelt before us. Is it not Southron's nature to die in battle? Is it not ours to slay our quarry? I know not what to make of this, but we must decide what is to be done with them soon. And any decisions on that? I don't know what to make of this, my friend. You, to what end have the Southrons surrendered? What drove them to such a decision? Maybe they decided they were on the wrong side. I have separated most of them amongst my men, and they kept on guard. I sought to speak with them when first we arrived at Island Varen, but they remained silent. It seems that neither we nor the Southrons know how best to proceed. Maybe you don't have the same language. Anyone speaks South? What language do Southrons speak? I will assume they have a different language that far south from here. Perhaps they would think differently of you, Pineleaf. I would ask that you speak to them, question their purpose in Ithilien, and see if we cannot discover what led to their surrender. You think I'm a polyglot on top of everything else? Would you do this for me? All right, fine. I will question them. Polyglotness Pineleaf. Pineleaf, a few of the Southrons have complained of thirst. I don't doubt it, but I will not send my rangers away from their sides. We still know little of their purpose here, and I dare not offer them the chance to slay us while our numbers are thinned. Still, I would not deny a prisoner such care, even one so hated as the men of Harad. To the east of Island Varen lies the source of the river beneath the great waterfall. Would you ask? I would ask that you take these water skins and fill them there. When you return, offer them to the prisoners, and let us hope it's enough to calm them for the time being. If we are fortunate, perhaps they will be more inclined to tell us of the enemy's plots in Ithilien. Well, who knows what they know about that. Alright, we have that, so I need a question for prisoners, and I need to travel east to get some... Alright, what I'll do is I will get the water first, seeing he said it might make them more inclined to help us. Well, that looks like a waterfall up ahead, so I'm going to assume that this is the waterfall in question. But apparently there's some traffic in the road as we go. I have come to the freshest waters in the river. Alright. Then let's fill one skin. 2. 3. 4. Well, I'm hoping that'll make their throats soothed enough and will soothe their throats enough so that they'll be able to speak. Oh, here's some water. Waving butter of it. Yeesh. And what about him? I did not expect such treatment from these rangers. Well, I'm not too sure whether he meant well or ill of that. Now let's see. Oh, oopsie daisy. Oh, gotta be careful. Where are the other two prisoners? Well, I'll worry about that later. First, let me see what the first prisoner has to say, since he seems to want to talk about something, right? Is there anything you want to talk about? Your approach, Doha Kutum. He remains silent, but his gaze is fixed upon you. Right? You ask him several carefully worded questions about his company's intent and the whereabouts of his kin in North Athelion. You offer him a moment to respond. Dukatum does not respond to your questions. Maybe he doesn't understand Westron. His face is twisted in a mix of anger and disappointment, and it would seem that the decision to surrender was not his to make. However, he makes no attempt to free himself from his bonds and appears to have come to terms with his captain's choice. Yet, before you can turn his back on to Minotaur, you hear the cracking of a nearby twig and the shifting of a stone within the baths. Oh, interesting. Are they responsible for this? Well, anything else? What do you say about all this?
Let us hope you bring glad tidings, friend.
This does not bode well for these Haradrim, and surely they must know it. If any more of their kin come here to their aid, I fear we shall be forced to slay them to protect ourselves and our brethren. Were circumstances different, but no, we can ill afford to take chances with men we have long known to serve the enemy. For the moment, we must keep our heads and sights clear. I can sense my men's trust of the Southrons has already begun to splinter. After such a brazen attack, I must confess that I too share some of their apprehension towards the prisoners. If we truly think ourselves to be the better men, we can't give in to fear so easily. The prisoners themselves have done nothing to suggest that they harbor the desire to break free, and they have heeded our commands without any question. I would ask that you aid in calming my men. They are uneasy, and I don't wish them to do anything ill considered, even against such an old foe to our people. Speak with them, and I shall do the same. All right, I shall try to calm them down. Calm down. All right, okay, that's one calmed. Two calmed. Well, I guess I'll speak with him after I take care of the rest of these. Be nice if I could find the rest of the. Oh, they're back here. Ah. All right. Aha. Here's one to calm down. Let's get a little calm. Now let's see what he has. Oh, offer him some water? An odd sort, these men. We have heard they never take prisoners, and yet here we are. Thank you, Hobbit. This water soothes my ills. Alright, that's good, I guess. Now, let me find the next one. Calm down the last two. We don't want any incidents here, right? There you go. There you go. Then we could turn that in later. Now, here's some water. Yeah, my thanks. I have no love for these men, but if bloodshed can be avoided this day, I shall do what I must. Alright, I will. So what does he need? I know you wish to understand why I ordered my men to stand down. Oh, this is the captain then. I ordered our surrender because I know that our people cannot win this war. Not for ourselves, and not for the Dark Lord. I speak not for the others amongst my kin, and I don't claim falsely that the conflict between our people is ended. There have been many years of hatred between us, and old wounds are not so easily soothed. We have known the Rangers to be unforgiving to their foes, but we still draw breath, at least for now. I have kept several banners of Far Haraj bounded in my armoring. They are borne into many battles, yes, but in my homeland they have another purpose. You see, they're often used to mark areas of strife or of dangerous weather and winds. If you were to plant them along the southern roads of these lands, those that beheld them would be warned to turn back. In return, I would offer what I know of my people's plans at Daggerlad and of the Dark Lord's designs in the coming days of the war. I can't promise that all will heed the warring banners, but if the captain of these rangers wishes to see fewer of my people in these lands, he should consider it. Alright, well, let's go and speak with the ranger captain. Actually, I might as well talk to him too. I shall answer your questions, Hobbit. In truth, I know little of our purpose here, only that our war master bade us surrender to these forest men. You call them rangers, do you not? A strange name, I think. We had long been stationed in the lands of Daggerlad, but traveled southward to reach the battle on the fields. Many of our numbers were slain at Cirith Negin by the Rangers, and soon we were few. I learned of Gondor's victory from the Rangers, but know little else of the battle. If this is our fate, I wish only to learn more about the great battle and return home with my brethren. I would ask to hear more of the battle, but first, you should speak to my brethren of it. They are eager to hear of it. Alright, so I should. Well, I will get to that later. First, let's speak to the ranger. I guess I should talk of the battle? You know of the great battle? Tell me what happened, I beg you. What of the men of Harad? You tell thy chat of the Black Serpent's doom at the hands of Theoden King, and of the 3 Mumakil who fell in their assault against the walls of Minas Tirith. So much death! If only we had abandoned the Dark Lord long ago. Cruel is a master who sits behind black mountains and steep tower walls, feeling nothing as his soldiers are slaughtered. I no longer wish to be part of this war. I wish only to return to Harad. I have heard all that I can bear. Leave me. Guess eventually I have to have a quest from him. What know you of the battle on the fields of Gondor? Right. I tell him of the great and small deeds on the Pelennor field. I speak of the death of Theoden King, the triumph of the allies against the Witch King of Angmar, and the sacrifice of the great warriors before the enemy's forces. The ranger spoke of a wraith garbed all in red, who had thought himself protected from the weapons of war, yet he fled the field in fear. How can one who need not fear death be cowed before the armies of Gondor? They cannot be so mighty. If the Dark Lord has such servants in his command, how lowly must we be in his sight? I hunger for battle with the men of Gondor, and yet this is an ill-fated path for my people. We shall be used to the last, and what glory shall we have when we all are gone? The battle must be ended, Pineleaf. It must, if ever we are to return home in peace. We have one more to speak with, and I guess that's the captain. But speaking of captains, I managed to give them a little water.
Be wary, my friends. Evil spoils these grounds.
I hope it's enough to soothe their thirst for a time, Pineleaf. I don't wish to offer them more than we can spare on Iran, but water is plentiful in these lands. Let us hope such a gesture gives them pause, should they wish to attack us yet. Right? And also, whichever this one is,
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
I don't know if I trust him, Pineleaf. It could lessen the burden of the host of the West and leave Ithilien clear of their people. Or it might be a ruse. They could lead the enemy's forces to our position. If this truly means that fewer Southrons will attempt to pass through Ithilien, I must allow it. Raise the banners as he asked, but begin the trail far to the south from Island Varen. Even if they follow it, they will not discover us. And if the Southrons spoke true, they will turn around the sight of them, and they have no need to continue northward. Peace with my friend, for I desire to learn what the Southron knows of the enemy's designs in Ithilien. Alright, I need to go and plant some banners. I managed to calm the Rangers.
Faith alone will not stop the enemy.
I shall offer them no quarter if their kinsmen attack us again, but I will not have my men give in to fear on mere suspicion. Take it, Pineleaf. Let us hope that does not come to that. Let us hope. Now, I suppose I should talk to this guy before I head out. Come close, Hobbit, for I don't wish to alarm the Rangers with what I want to tell you. You see, I neglected to tell our captives of my companion and dear friend Loku Ahi. Loku Aki? Yes, Loku Aki is a Mumak of 16 years, and I cared for him after his mother was felled by disease in the earliest months. Loku Aki endured a great, mighty weathering illness in the battle and battles alike, and he was to be brought into the war at long last. It was an honor to see him bear the brilliant armoring of my people, but those who rode him in the battle did not make it far into these lands. Their company was ambushed in Kirith Negin, and there they were slain to the last, save for Loku Aki. He cast off his armoring, wild in anger and confusion, and trampled all beneath him, and then fled the mountain pass. I believe that he lives still, Warden, but there remains no way for him to escape the lands of the Rangers alive, not without aid. The Rangers will not trust our bond, and they will slay him unless he departs from here. There is a pale root that grows amongst the foothills of the Black Mountains, and it's known to my people as marrowroot. When cracked, it gives off a strong, sweet odor to which the Mumakil are drawn. I have seen it among the ruins here, and in the foothills to the east. He fled far to the southwest in Kirith Negin, but I know no more of his flight. Once you have gathered the roots and discovered his whereabouts, crack the roots on moss-laden stones, and lead him into the marshlands far to the northwest. I know not if he shall be left in peace there, but anywhere is safer for a Mumak than the lands of the Rangers. Well, there is that. There is that. One massive problem. You're not kidding. Rather than heading out right now, I think I'm going to report back regarding the tales I told. I have waited patiently for you to tell them of the battle, and now I ask that you tell me what you told them. Alright, I repeat all of that, the story of the Pelennor Fields and all of that. So, my king and his sons are slain then. They would not have wished for death to find them in any other way, Hobbit. Regardless of the war's outcome, much will change in my homeland. The lands of Harad are unforgiving, but beautiful. If ever there is peace between our peoples, or if you remain such a bold adventurer, I believe that you would feel at home in the wilds of Harad and among the warm winds of our deserts and jungles. If there were the time, I would tell you more of it, but I can sense that the Rangers no longer appreciate our conversation. Hmm. Well, what else will come out of that? I don't know. Perhaps we'll find that out after I plant some banners and find a Moomock in the next episode of The Complete Pine Leaf.